In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit craiggetsoulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Growland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Growland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Growland.com or call Growland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Growland Computers.
Midnight.
7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
You're listening to WMNH 95.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
The commander to the supreme leader, Matzo coming down.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Here we go. It is that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed. And we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. It is Saturday, August 24, 2024. We've got a great show for you today. And I am not alone in studio.
Good morning, sunshine.
Jenny is here, of course, at the news table.
Present and accounted for.
Yes, yes. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be joined via Skype by Boeden Greenley. He's the author of a book called Perseverance, which I read. I had the pleasure of reading recently. Looking forward to speaking with him about it. Although it's a pretty heavy subject, but we'll get into that, of course. We've got Silicon Kong in the second hour, and third hour, Under the Horizon, which is I'm particularly looking forward to speaking with them because not only do I love their sound, but the manager of the band is somebody who I used to do a lot of business with back in the day. And he was in a band and I was in a band and we played a lot of shows together and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to that. But so it'll be a fun show today.
Yes, it's going to be. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Do we have time? Yeah, we should mention what's the event there that you wanted to.
Yeah, so the Gail Singer blood drive just happened. And I went there. And I want to encourage you, please consider donating blood. If you did not in this past drive, There are lots of opportunities too. And right now there's actually a critical blood supply shortage, which means lives are on the line. So if you have the ability to do it, it doesn't take long, about an hour or so out of your time, or even less, depending on, where you go for it. But it's quick, it's easy, and you have the ability to save lives. Also about saving lives, while I was there, the American Red Cross has a really great program to try and prevent people from dying in house fires. And you can actually get a free smoke alarm installed in your house, and they'll check your house and let you know if there are any fire hazards you need to take care of. So if, the bad thing happens, you guys get out alive and you get out safely. So if you're interested in getting a free smoke alarm and having your house checked to see if you have any fire hazards that you can take care of, just check out the American Red Cross. Now you can go to their website at redcross.org and just look up in-home smoke alarm, and you can find out where you can get it there. Or you can give them a call at 1-800-464-6692. That's 800-464-6692. They will bring you a brand new smoke alarm, install it for you, and make sure that you and your family will be able to get out of your house safely. So absolutely check that out. Also, if you're not able to donate blood, you can be a volunteer, and that's always a need. So if you're interested in being a volunteer, check out the Red Cross, redcross.org/volunteer, and consider doing that. They do great things for us, and I can tell you, as a former EMT and working in an emergency room, blood supplies are life, 100%. Something bad happens, and that emergency blood is literally the difference between life and death for a lot of people. And there's actually a lot of illnesses that are treated by blood donations. So you can help people that are chronically ill and perhaps they need immunoglobulin. If you've got some to give, please consider donating. As I said,
that's a fun word. Immunoglobulin.
Immunoglobulin, yes.
I'm going to work that in the conversations a lot now. Immunoglobulin.
So that's actually what they call what my neurologist calls the drug of last resort for me, is IVIG, and it actually takes about 10,000 blood donations to make just one dose of IV immunoglobulins.
You need a lot of immunoglobulins?
Yes.
That's
there
fun.
are people that cannot live without it.
Yes.
Their bodies are so bad that they need to have it regularly infused, and actually have nurses come to their homes and do it right at home. So it is a really big deal. Please consider doing it. And like I said, the American Red Cross is giving out free smoke alarms. They'll install it for you and help you stay safe and prevent a fire from taking you or your loved ones' lives.
Well, very good. Very good. Also, we should mention, so a couple quick things. We've got a couple of shows to go to. So tomorrow night, we're going to go Great White. We're going to see them at Tupelo because opening for them is Under the Horizon. And
Yes.
we'll talk more about that in the third hour when the band is with us, Under the Horizon.
Looking forward to meeting them in person.
And then also, and this has been a few months in the making now, but Tuesday night,
yes,
Green Jello / Green Jelly. I'm never sure which name to call them. I think they prefer Green Jello. Green Jelly was just a legal alternative, shall we say. But they were on the show with us a couple of months ago after they played here in Manchester. And Tuesday night, they're going to be at Terminus in Nashua. We had, of course, our friends from Terminus and the Midnight Creators Collective. Midnight Creatives Collective. Yes, I always get that wrong. Eleanor and Andre and Spelfie here with us a couple of weeks ago. Yes. But this Tuesday night's the big night, Green Jello at Terminus. It is a free show at 7 p.m. It is 21 plus, BYOB. But come check it out. Terminus is amazing. You can see Jenny's art. Jenny is the featured artist there on the walls at the Midnight Creatives Collective and
12
Terminus.
Of my darkest piece.
Yes.
Which was really crazy to see them hanging all together.
Yeah.
Really, really bizarre. So yeah, if you want to check out some of my darkest work, you can actually see that while we're seeing Green Jello. And I am so excited to this concert.
And bring your pool noodles if you have them.
Yes, pool noodles are a must.
But yes, so
come in costume.
Green Jello, again, that is this Tuesday night, the 27th at 7 p.m. The address is 134 Haynes Street in Nashua. And I've never seen them live. I
have not either. And this is
had
a
a great
special
time
thing
talking
because
with them,
they
but-
don't do this all the time. This is a free concert that they wanted to put on.
Yeah.
And they asked us to help them find the great location to host this free concert.
Yeah,
And I'm just excited about that.
Yeah, well, you helped to facilitate it.
Yes, I did. I got to say I actually booked Green Jello twice now.
Yeah, it was
on radio and for a show. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, it was wild. Where after they were on the show, what was that, in June?
Yeah.
Afterward, we're talking. They were our last guests of the day, so we were just kind of talking for a few minutes after we got off the air. And Bill Mansfield, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna be coming back through. We should, if you got a venue for us, we'd love to do a free show somewhere." And
he was very particular about that too. Yeah, that was something special they wanted to do, and I thought that was really awesome that they wanted to honor us here in the great state of New Hampshire with a free concert. And yeah, so come on out, join us, come say hi to Matt and I.
Yes.
We'd love to meet you in person.
Absolutely. So
and good morning to Scott Beatley.
Oh, okay.
He
yes.
is in the chat room. He said, "Good morning, Matt and Jen."
Oh,
I was
very
saying
good.
good morning back. Good morning, B. Bernard. I see you too. And Under the Horizon is checking us out. They're talking that they're very happy and looking forward to coming in later this morning when we're going to see them in person.
Yes.
Which I'm really looking forward to. These guys are hard workers, and getting to open up for Great White's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, our guest hasn't Skyped in yet, although he's got another 30 seconds. But I'll just quickly say, so back in the day, because I made reference to this earlier, and I'm sure we'll talk about it too when Mike is here. So Mike is the dad of one of the band members, but Mike is, and so he's managing them too, and doing all this promotion for them. He's the one who reached out to us. But Mike Palmer, years ago, he was in a band called Disorder by Design, and I was in a band at the time called My Life Crisis. And we played a lot of shows together. I talk about it on the show a lot with different bands that come in, how sometimes it happens organically. Bands kind of team up and end up playing a lot of shows together. So we played a lot of shows with Disorder by Design. Plus, I booked them on some shows that My Life Crisis wasn't even on, because at that time I was also doing a lot of promotion, booking a lot of shows and whatnot. So I booked Disorder by Design for a lot of shows. And they were, I don't know what ever happened to them. They were great band, very intense live. Really, really good, very professional. And Mike was always, in Disorder by Design, he was always the guy too, who was, kind of the manager business guy. So he was always wonderful to deal with. So when he reached out to us, he said in the email, he was like, is this the same Matt Connarton? I said, yep, it's me, which, it likely will be, because there are very few of us. There are very few Matt Connartons in the world. I've checked. There is another Matt Connarton right here in New Hampshire, but he's my uncle, so that kind of doesn't count.
He was just letting me know that he sent a message on Skype, so hopefully he'll see my message to call.
Our guest...
I don't think that you can see that part. Yes. Our guest is...
He sent a message to us on Skype?
That's what he says. That's what he said.
Because you can do that. But
just sent over a message through Skype. Not sure.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that. You can message people on Skype, but I'm not seeing it. But he should just go ahead and connect.
Yeah,
Because I don't, the way this,
for gosh sakes.
The way the Skype account's set up, I don't have to accept his message before he connects with us. He can just connect with us. I think you have the option of setting it so only people with whom you've previously connected can Skype you.
Oh, okay.
There's different ways you can set it up, but ours, I think, is open. I think literally anybody in the world, if they had our Skype ID, not that we're going to give it out because we don't want just anybody in the world doing that, but I think anyone can Skype us.
Oh, that's true.
If they have the ID.
If they have the ID, yes, they can. Or I think they can look it up on email too, right? Oh, wait, we don't do that anyway.
There's different ways to do it, but
that's true.
Skype is funny and quirky and weird, but it works a lot better than it used to. I remember way back first using. Oh, he's actually calling the studio line.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do that.
Assuming this is him.
Hopefully.
Hello, is this our guest?
Yeah. Hey, Matt. It's K Daver. How you doing?
Oh, it's K Daver. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I don't know if I'm crashing the party. Feel free to kick me off. I'm about to go to a shoot right now, and I just saw your Facebook Live, and it said call now, so I thought I would just join in and say hi.
Yeah, we do have a guest who's supposed to be Skyping in momentarily, but he hasn't yet. He's a couple minutes late, so he might be having a technical issue. So go ahead and plug what you're doing, man. What you said you're going to? You got a video shoot?
Yeah. So my company, Fourth Kind Films, which is I just said K-Dabber in the sense that that's how you know me, but
yes.
I don't want to say I've left that life. I still do music dabbling, but I pretty much put all my focus into my film company over the last year and a half, which is pretty much just gone to the moon. I have commercials on NBC right now for Can-Am Bridges, working on documentaries, everything in between. I do recruitment videos for police departments. I do weddings, music videos, you name it. And so right now I'm going over to this event called the Apple Pie Fair.
Uh-huh.
It's an event in Newport, New Hampshire, so going to do a little event recap for them today, and then next week I got a plethora of shoots as well. But yeah, that's what I got going on, man. How's life with you?
Good.
That's awesome. We should get you in.
Yeah. Our guest just joined us via Skype, so we're going to shift over to him. But I'm really glad you called. That's amazing. Congratulations on that. And, Jenny does the booking for the show now, so let's get you back on, partly because it'll be great to see you. But also, I definitely want to get updated on everything that you're doing, because that's great news. It sounds like you're having a ton of success, and I'm very, very happy for you. You deserve it. You've been at this a while, and you
100%.
You deserve it, man.
Absolutely. Just one more time for anyone out there, Fourth Kind Films. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that. Again, my apologies for crashing. I know sometimes you do kind of open platform shows for people to call in, so I don't know if that was one of those times, but I'll let you go back to doing what you're doing.
No, your timing.
No, you were perfect.
Your timing was perfect, my friend. And yes, we will talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good day.
All right, K-Dabber, take care. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see here. And so we do have our guest is Boeden. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Boeden Greenley. Am I saying that correctly? Boeden?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. That's not a name I think I've ever seen before, but I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boeden Greenley is Skyping in. Now, where are you, Boeden? Where are you located?
I'm in North Dakota.
North Dakota?
Right outside of Fargo.
Oh, okay, Fargo. Well, we all know about Fargo because of the movie.
Yeah.
But so you have written a book, which I read, and thank you for sending that to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perseverance, and I referenced earlier when I mentioned that you were going to be joining us. I mentioned that pretty heavy stuff. It's a heavy subject. It's a light read in the sense that it's not particularly long, but it's not a light read in the sense that, like I said, it's pretty heavy stuff. And let me ask you this right up front, and we can kind of work backwards a little bit, but I want to know this, and then we'll get into, for our listeners, what it's about and everything. But how is your mother now? Because the book is, of course, about the ordeal health-wise that your mother has been through. As we sit here today, how is she doing?
Yeah, so she's definitely better than she was at her worst by a lot, but she's certainly not 100%. I'd say somewhere in the 40% realm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Which I think in the book, that's kind of where you left it, was she was at about 40%. So,
yes.
So, Boeden, if we could, can you go ahead and tell us about the book and what it's about? And, I'm sure I'll have some questions. I read it the other night, and I'll have some questions along the way. But for our listeners to kind of get acquainted, I'd like you to kind of tell us a little bit about the book and what it is that drove you to write this.
Yeah, so this was something that I'd wanted to write for a long time. It was a situation that directly involved me, and once I got a little older here, I was like, I feel like this is something that is more common than the industry makes it seem like it is. Like, this is something, to me, I feel everybody kind of sweeps under the rug, and I really wanted to get this story out there and make people knowledgeable on this topic. So basically going back, so right now I'm 19 years old. This started when I was about 12 years old. So going back, she had a tooth issue going on, and she needed an implant and was debating on getting a ceramic or a titanium implant. And doctors pushed her to go titanium. She decided to go titanium, got that put in there. And then probably like 3 months after getting it, she started getting all these terrible things going on in her body. Started getting really bad. She ended up getting it out like probably 7 months after that. And then just from there on, it was really bad that next year, and then got a little bit better, but then it's still been struggling with problems for a long, long time.
And as this is going on, did she or did anyone have any idea that it was the tooth?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much clear as day that it was the tooth. She was as healthy as you could possibly be prior to this. She was a person that was like lifting every day, ran a lot, all these things, and no just common anything was taking her down at all. Like she was literally as healthy as it could be, and then got this tooth, and right after, boom, we had problems galore.
And this is have you been able to find other documented cases similar to this, or is this such a rare thing that you really can't find anything like this happening to anybody?
Yeah, I actually, I haven't looked into specific cases a ton, but I'm from a pretty small town, and I even know a couple people close to me that had similar symptoms to my mom when getting titanium put in their body. So I know that this happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Jenny, of course, with her experience and what she's been through, she knows a lot about when it's difficult to get something diagnosed and, figuring out exactly what the problem is. She has a lot of experience with that. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who can relate to that. When you're dealing with something that's unusual, it's so much harder to get it diagnosed because, if it's not something common, really, I mean, why would the medical community know a lot about it or be able to figure out and identify the problem and then go from there and figure out solutions if it's something that doesn't happen very often?
Exactly.
So the titanium, it sort of poisoned her, right? It caused her, it wrecked her health in a sense, right?
Yeah. So this is one thing I want to really kind of make clear here. So in my opinion, I don't believe that the titanium is a huge issue when dealing with this. The problem is titanium implants are 6% aluminum, and that's where the problem became. So they use aluminum as a filler metal. Okay. It's because aluminum per ounce is way cheaper than titanium per ounce. So they can use that, and keep in mind they're outputting 2.5 million implants per year. So when you're talking that scale, that money that it takes to create the implant, that really matters. So the aluminum was the issue.
And if go ahead, Jenny. What?
No, I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And I never knew. I never knew that there was aluminum in the titanium implants.
Yeah. Well,
never knew that.
It's interesting that you say that because I think in the book, I think you kind of talk about that too, Boeden, that they don't tell you that up front, right? Like, don't they kind of sell it to you as it's titanium and they just say that's what it is, and they don't tell you, well, it's titanium, but it's also aluminum and it's this and it's that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like maybe somewhere in the fine print of the contract, they say it in there.
Yeah.
But they definitely don't make it clear when they're telling you, that's for sure. And the thing too is, I don't know if you guys know, lately there's been a big uprising with aluminum in the deodorants.
That I'm very aware of. I'm a breast cancer survivor. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, to me, so now everybody's opening up to aluminum and deodorants, which is simply just putting it on topically on your skin, but then it's okay to implant it into your body. It's like, that makes no sense.
Right.
That's a super valid point.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, aluminum and deodorant. That's one of the first things they told me to stop using was antiperspirant, because that's the main ingredient there is the aluminum.
Yep.
Deodorant by itself doesn't have it.
Right.
And let me take a guess. So you said you're a breast cancer survivor?
Yep.
Was your breast cancer like really close to your armpit?
No, actually.
Okay.
It was closer to my back. It was in the back of my breast tissue, and there was also a precancerous area that had started under the areola.
Okay.
So I kind of had it on both sides of this area as far as thickness goes. It was way up front and way in the back.
Does make you wonder though a little bit, right?
100%, of course. I mean, I can remember when I was a kid, my dad going, "Oh, it's time for you to get deodorant now." You know, it was like a thing. You had to start using deodorant. I mean, yeah, and always use deodorant. That's like it's ingrained into your head, right? How many of us would bring it to school and reapply? I mean,
right.
Yeah, I was reading a study the other day. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's a big increase in breast cancer towards really close to the armpit.
Oh,
because they're saying it's directly linked to the aluminum in the.
Well, that's where the main lymph nodes start. And that's where the first two lymph nodes are that are normally, and in my case, were dissected and removed.
Sure.
And some people lose way more than that because they keep going. They start with those lymph nodes right in the armpit. You're 100% correct. And then it goes backwards from there.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
You've certainly done your research, that's for sure. And this is good information to be sharing. Most people don't consider what's in their antiperspirant that they're using. And that aluminum actually like blocks you and then gets into your body. He's right. He's 100% right.
And that's why they put it in there, because it actually clogs the gland so you don't sweat as much.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And nobody wants to sweat and be stinky. Yeah. And you're really better off if you do sweat. Sweating is a good thing. Your body's supposed to do it for a reason.
Exactly. Yes.
That's true. One of the things that surprised me in the book, Boeden, was, and this surprised me in a very sad way, is I kind of thought as I'm reading it, as you're going through the story, once they identified that the tooth was that titanium / aluminum tooth was what was probably the issue, and they took it out. I would have hoped that over time she would start to get better. And I guess she did start to get better, right? But not enough. As you said, even today, she's still at only 40%, because I remember getting to that part in the story and thinking, okay, this is probably a good turning point, right? Now that they've taken that out, hopefully she's sweating it out. Hopefully, it's leaving her body, but apparently not. Or maybe it has, but the damage is done. I don't know. I mean, what do you say about that?
Yeah, it really is remarkable to me, and I truly don't understand it. I don't know, I think she might go in here and see. We were thinking there might still be fragments of something in her body.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's what I'm thinking.
There's absolutely no way something takes this long to heal. And I just think her body is, whatever is in her body, she just cannot defend it. So, yeah, it truly is remarkable. And if there isn't anything else, I don't know. Her body just fighting it off is impossible. It's crazy.
I'm wondering what got put into her bloodstream, into her body, because this is really hitting home for me because of the tamoxifen toxicity that I have.
Yep.
I'm tamoxifen toxic. My body can't get rid of it. It implanted itself everywhere. And I'll always be tamoxifen toxic. There's no way to clear it out of my body. So, and it has had significant effects to my eyes and my ears. I mean, my right eye has a hole in it because of it. But I'm like relating to your mom's story so much because I'm thinking, yeah, she had this in her body, and your mouth is actually super, super porous, right? This is, in fact, it's one of the fastest ways to give you a medication is under your tongue. Mm-hmm. That is literally one of the fastest ways. So you have to remember that. It's also one of the quickest ways to get sick because oftentimes people will get a tooth infection, goes untreated, gets into the blood system, and now you can actually die from it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen people in the intensive care unit with something that started in their mouth. So that's 100% true. So it makes me think that aluminum that was in her mouth for however long, that there's some kind of like chemical or whatever that got into her bloodstream because of that, and is just simply, she's got it. And maybe it's just not, there's no there may be no way to completely cleanse her of it, as there is no way to completely cleanse me of tamoxifen. I'm always going to have deposits in various parts of my body of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what it is. I just feel so I identify with your mom so much because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What inspired you to write the book, Boeden?
Yeah, so my main reason is I want to get this information out there. I come back to, do I think titanium is the worst thing in the world? No. But if we're going to be still doing these things, it needs to be 100% titanium, or I believe that ceramic or zirconia implants are much superior. That's what the holistic dentists are preaching now. Mm-hmm. But I just want people to be aware that when they put these things in their body, that there's even if it's a really small chance, that it completely ruins your life. And I think that is going to make you think twice before getting it.
Yeah, and I assume too you're only 19, right? So I assume your mom is pretty young, and she's got a lot ahead of her. So I'm
yeah, she's 48.
Yeah. So it's got to be. And you talk too in the book about how prior to all this happening, she was very healthy, very fit, and not someone who. I mean, it's got to be. Obviously, it would be difficult for anybody to go through this, but I would imagine it's especially difficult for someone like her who's used to being so active.
Yeah, I mean it is terrible. I mean nothing short of terrible. She's super fit person. She was a dietitian, physical trainer, all that. So that was like her big thing, and it's been really difficult. Breaks my heart.
There's a point in the book too that I found particularly heartbreaking when she was at a point where she was starting to feel better, significantly better. And it seemed like it was a really good turning point. And she maybe she pushed herself a little too hard or something, but she was out somewhere, I think maybe with one of your siblings, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And she was having a good day and it was going well and she's feeling good. And then all of a sudden she just started feeling terrible again. And it was just this enormous setback. And I think she fell, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So there was kind of two. So you're referring to when she took my little brother to the zoo, and actually,
oh yeah,
it wasn't anything super crazy. She literally just walked too much. That's what she says. She walked too much that day, and she felt like a big just drop. She calls it poison in her body because it feels like tingling all over, and she felt it drop into her legs, and she said she knew she was in trouble when that happened.
Oh God. Yeah. And then after that, it was kind of back to square one, right?
Yeah. So she had, up to that point, that was the best she'd been. Before that day, she was probably up to a good 60%. And then, yeah, that happened and been struggling more with the lower body now.
Wow. Oh, that's horrible.
It sounds like CRPS.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with me. Everything was upper body and then it dropped into my legs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so crazy. I'm so sorry that your mom has had to struggle through these. But I commend you for what you're doing. It's so important to get information out there so people are informed and can make informed choices.
Absolutely.
How does she feel about the book?
She, so kind of funny. Right away, so I didn't tell her that I wrote it until it was already done, because I knew that she was kind of a stubborn person and is kind of embarrassed about the whole situation and probably did not want to be a main focal talking point. But then once I brought it to her, she was really happy and we had a good moment about it. And I told her that this is a message that needs to get out there, and it sucks that you're kind of the talking point, but it has to get out there. I just don't want to see this happen to a lot of people. So,
has this kind of spurred her to do any other, does she do any interviews or any kind of media about this, or is it just your book for now that you've written?
Mainly just my book for now. Yeah. She just doesn't really like that kind of thing, talking about it. She's just she's a stubborn person. She's tough nosed, and she's, like I said, kind of embarrassed about it. So I'll I'll be the guy to talk about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, to be able to do this and even survive, you've got to be tough, right? So
Yeah.
someone not with the fortitude that she obviously has, would have thrown in the towel by now. But she's obviously a very strong person to be able to continue to deal with this every day and continue to function and live. And wow. And have you written other things prior to this, or is this your first book, or have you?
Yeah, this was my first book.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
No, it's excellent. Did you have an editor, or did you do everything yourself, or?
Yeah, I had an editor, and then I had a guy who helped me with the cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's very good. I encourage people to read it. I'm also curious because I don't think you address this specifically in the book, but in terms of, so they removed the titanium, and partially aluminum tooth. Did they replace it with something, or does she just not have a tooth there now, or what happened there?
Yeah, she's just empty there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know if there was a danger in not putting something else there, or I guess at the moment it probably doesn't much matter because what she's already dealing with is so difficult that.
Yeah, exactly. It was like at the time when they were taking it out, they probably would have wanted to put something back over top, but she was just like, I feel so bad right now, just get it out and we'll deal with it after.
That makes sense, though. I can definitely understand that. I can understand that. Is there any kind of hope? Have you and she and your family been able to find anything that, any sort of alternative treatment or anything that might help her, or is she just kind of stuck at 40% and that's kind of it for the moment?
Yeah, I've been really reaching out to a lot of people. I've found in the more alley of holistic dentistry, which is more like natural practice dentistry, and there's potentially some heavy metal detox we're going to look into down the road here that I want to get into. But she's actually going in, I believe, next week sometime to get a scan of her head to make sure there's no leftover fragments.
Okay.
Excellent.
And then if, of course, and that'll be, if they find something, that's half the battle, I guess, right? Locating, but then they have to figure out how to get it out, right? So
exactly, which then that will be difficult, but if they find something, we'll get it done.
Yeah, and at least too, then you'll know, then you'll have an answer, is that what it is? Is there any kind of a theory about why? Because like I said, there's that point where she started feeling significantly better. I mean, I assume you've probably all been over this a million times, but have you and she and your family tried to figure out what it was during that period that was different, that helped her to feel so much better before she had that setback and all of that?
Yeah, I really don't know. It's such an interesting thing to me. It's like you stated earlier, it's like when once we got it removed, you're thinking, all right, we're probably getting better here, eventually at least. And she was getting so much better, and I'm thinking, oh yes, I'm fine. My mom's finally gonna be all the way better. And then it was just like one day she walks too much. Like, what the F, there's no way. I mean, she was as fit as somebody could be. So to her, even walking a lot, that was like exerting 20%,
Yeah.
So there's just no, and I really don't understand. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't really know what it was exactly.
Yeah. And it must be so hard too. And you do talk about this quite a bit in the book. You get very personal about the challenges for your family. Obviously she's going through this terrible thing, but it affects all of you. It affects your dad and your siblings and how hard that is, and how, and when you're a kid, I mean, it's probably, although adults, it's a challenge for anybody, right, of any age, but especially when you're growing up. And this started when you were 12, right? You said you were 12 when this whole thing started.
Yes, sir.
Like, you don't know at that age how to handle all of this emotionally, and to see your mother going through this. And your sibling, are you the oldest of three? Is that?
Yes, I am the oldest. And then I got right now I'm 19. I have a middle brother who's 16, and then I have a youngest brother who's 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, your 10-year-old brothers, for him, it's got to be very, very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really hard. And I talk about this a little bit. I did a bad job as well. I was so young, and I kind of just got caught up in my own little world. And I talk about it a little bit. I almost got annoyed,
Sure.
It's like, why is this just isn't fair to me, selfishly thinking, why is my mom like this? This is ridiculous. But then it's like later on, it's like, oh man, I was terrible,
No, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself. You're young, you're a kid, your brain is wired a particular way, and it's not a bad thing about you that in that moment you weren't able to view the entirety of what was going on. And that's just a process of getting older. You can't fault yourself for being a kid and not seeing a full view because you just didn't get there yet. Now you do. Look at everything you're doing. You're doing incredible things. You didn't just come around. You came around to become a champion to make sure that other people are forewarned. And that's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good to reflect on. There's such a thin line between, kind of reflecting and analyzing, a thin line between that and ruminating on the past and beating yourself up and whatnot. But I think it's good to reflect on what you maybe could have done differently so that you're able to be supportive going forward. But again,
Absolutely.
like Jenny said, I mean, when you're a kid, you're still trying to mature and grow emotionally, and to feel some sort of resentment or frustration along the way, or that's perfectly normal. That's normal for adults too, but especially when you're a kid, it's like you really got your family, your mom especially, but your family really got dealt a bad hand with this whole situation. So you did the best you could, and the great thing about writing this book is, hopefully this is going to help other people. Like you said, you want to raise awareness about this and kind of warn people about what they might be getting into, and make sure too that if somebody wants to put titanium in you, read the fine print. Make sure ask your doctor, ask the surgeon, is there anything else other than titanium? I'm trying to think of what else do they use titanium for?
I'm not sure.
Hip replacements, right? I think hip replacements are titanium.
Yeah,
Everything pretty much is, because it doesn't set up a metal detector, and it's a rather good material.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, you need to be informed. Maybe there's things you look out for. Maybe there's some kind of allergy involved with aluminum that triggers in some people and not others.
Oh, yeah.
You don't. My mom's got a titanium knee, and it went remarkably well.
Yeah.
So there's the good and there's good and bad in anything. So really, just being fully informed and then making informed choices. Or maybe you get tested for heavy metal or whatever. I don't know what the exact answer is to it.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like anyone does.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because, like you said, and I kind of say this a little bit too, it's like most people are probably going to get it and be just fine. But in my opinion, I think if something like this is even a potential, I just don't find myself taking that risk.
Right.
And I think as time goes on, we're going to start to see alternatives that are safer, or at least, like I said, I would like to see everything be all 100% titanium. I would be more okay with that even.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that you've written this book, do you have plans to write another one? Are you going to continue writing, or maybe write about other things, or what's kind of your trajectory in terms of writing?
Yeah, so I never thought I would do anything even close to this. It's funny because when I was probably mid-teens, I said how much I hated reading, and then now I'm just a reading freak. I love reading and I love writing too. So
yeah.
But as for writing more, my hope is that we find an answer with my mom. We get her detoxed, and I want to write about that. That is my end goal.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be a wonderful book to write, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would be awesome.
I would love to read that. So so hopefully that happens. Boeden Greenley, thank you so much. Before we let you go, too, I want to make sure everyone knows where to get your book. Of course, it is called Perseverance. And what do people need to know about how to get it?
Yeah, so right now it's available on Amazon.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. And we should tell people, too, tell people how to, because Boeden is not a name you hear every day. How do people spell that when they're looking for you?
Yeah, it's Boeden, and then Greenley is Green, Ley.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, it's an excellent book. I want to say I enjoyed reading it, but enjoy isn't quite the right word because, like I said, it's such an unhappy subject. But
yeah.
But I'm really glad that you sent it to us and that we were able to do this today and help.
Absolutely.
You know, even if we help one person or prevent possibly one person from making a mistake, that's a good thing. So I'm really glad you were able to join us. And even if it's a while before you have written anything else, if you have any kind of a big update on your mom in the future, we'd love to have you back. This is something that we want to continue to pay attention to and support you and your family in any way that we can. So let's definitely stay in touch, Boeden.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
All right, very good. Boeden Greenley, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was Boeden Greenley, and he is the author of Perseverance, which you can find at Amazon.com. And like I said, it's a good read, but it's a very difficult subject.
Medicine always is.
Absolutely. I'm going to play something from our hour number 2 guest, Silicon Kong. And this is not one of the tracks that he sent me, but it's one that I particularly like. So we're going to play this, but then Silicon Kong will be with us in the second hour. Don't go away.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit craiggetsoulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs? Trust Grolin Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Grolin handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit grolin.com or call Grolin Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Grolin Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
That is such a cool vibe. I didn't even want to talk over it at the end. That is Silicon Kong, Broken Down. Really, really cool. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed. Of course, we are live on this Saturday morning, August 24, 2024. Jenny is here as well at the news table.
Present and account for.
And we've actually played a few Silicon Kong tracks so far this morning, but we have, is this the man himself joining us via Skype? Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Very good, very good. Yeah, we played.
Good morning, New England.
Yes, yes. So we played Broken Down, and we did play a little bit earlier before the break, Cosmic Groove Pool, and I also played, even though let's see, what was it? Computer. I'm trying to get back to it now. I played a couple of older things as well because.
Was that Do You Compute?
Oh, yes. Do You Compute? I was listening to that last night, and I was like, I got to play this one, too, because that is so
Actually, that's a Donnie Iris cover.
Is it? I didn't realize that.
It's Donnie Iris from Pittsburgh. Yes.
I had no idea. I really like that song.
Well, thank you. Well, thank Donnie Iris, too. So.
I'll have to check out the Donnie Iris. Yeah, when I think of Donnie Iris, the only
Leah.
Leah, which is a personal favorite of mine. And what's the other one? Love is Like a Rock? Is that?
Rock,
yeah.
Yeah, well, being that I'm a Yinzer and I grew up in Pittsburgh, I'm just so used to. I grew up listening to Donnie Iris. I loved him. I mean, he's awesome. He's King Cool. To us, he's like an icon. So I mean, so it was only fitting that I did a suitable cover that would fit him, and hopefully he liked it.
Yeah. Do you know if he's ever heard it? Like, have you ever met him or talked to him?
I can't say I have. I actually just released that not too long ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I do like my covers are very as you can tell, they're very unique. I'm sure if you would go to my Reverb Nation page or my Facebook page, I do covers, but they're different. So.
Yeah, no, they are. I also listen to maybe I'll play it later. I listen to your cover of Destroyer.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's really, really cool. By the way, so what is a Yinzer?
Yinzer, that's a Pittsburgher.
Okay.
It's a form of identification for a Pittsburgher.
Okay.
Because we and that and Yuns and we have our own little dialogue out here in Pittsburgh. So.
Well, apparently I had no idea. I don't know what any of these things are.
Well, I work with a lady here. She's actually from New Hampshire, and her accent is I can tell she's definitely from New Hampshire. I mean, you just have your own little dialogue accent thing going on up there.
Right.
Coffee and blocks.
Well, we have though. It's strange though because in New Hampshire we have variations of it. For example, there's that classic. Well, not just New Hampshire. There's that classic New England thing of which I think with every generation becomes less and less prevalent, where people drop their R's. Instead of park the car, they say park the car. But there's also variations where. Where you do pronounce your R's, but there's something else weird going on where people can still tell that you're from here, even though you do pronounce your R's. It's strange. Yeah. There's different, there's levels to it.
Sure. You know what? A couple years ago, I was traveling down south. This is just a cool story. And I stopped in this little mini mart. It was in Bowling Green, Kentucky, outside Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's 2 a.m. and there's this nice little girl working the counter. And I was looking around and said, hey, where do you put the cigarettes at? She said, you're from Pittsburgh, ain't you?
Oh, she could tell, huh?
Yeah, because the Yins.
Oh, so not just, so that's not like a Pennsylvania thing. That's very specifically a Pittsburgh thing?
Specifically, it is definitely a Pittsburgh thing, a Steel City thing. Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. And so Silicon Kong is from the Steel City of Pittsburgh.
Well, a suburb of it, Greensburg, Pennsylvania. It's about 20 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, southeast.
Okay. And tell us about, now there's a movie coming, right? The Steel City Architect?
Yes, there is. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, it's a movie called The Steel City Architect, a Pittsburgh rockumentary. What that is, that's a movie that will be released in January. It's with Drew Moreland of Improv Chill Studios and Santos Ortez Patrick of Downcast Spark. Now, what that is, it's kind of like years and years ago. I'll tell you what. I guess I have time. I can tell you the story.
Yeah,
a couple years ago, there was a producer out there. Like I said, her name's Drew Moreland, and she was a filmmaker. She's won quite a few awards, and she's also an author of a couple books, which I'll post that on my Facebook page if anybody wants to check it out. But anyway, what happened was she was looking for she was doing a zombie movie. And I was like, well, somebody contacted me, one of her affiliates contacted me, and I was like, well, hey, I wouldn't mind doing like a soundtrack. I do some songs for a zombie because I love horror movies. I grew up with horror movies. And I was like, well, that'd be really cool. I said, well, I'll tell you what, how about, I'm playing this show. It was a place called Casey's in Pittsburgh. And I said, come out, check out the show. And, if you like it, maybe we can arrange something and I can do some soundtrack work. So make a long story short, she came out with her a constituent at the time. And she was like, I came out and I come out, I'm a one-man show, much like Grim Rock. I know you know Grim Rock.
Yes, and he's in the chat room, by the way. And yes,
Grim Rock's awesome.
We love Grim.
We love Grim. Me and Grim got a lot of things going on, so people, please stay tuned. But anyway, back to the story. And she came out and she was like, well, hey, I was like, we'll come out. And I come out, I opened that particular set with the Ballad of Dwight Fry cover by Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice.
And I come out in a straight jacket and a mask, and she lost it. She was like, oh my God, get my camera. And she said, do you mind if I film this? I was like, no, you go right ahead. I mean, cool. I like to have a little video thing anyway. And make a long story short, after I was done playing, I was like, so is there a chance of me getting in the soundtrack? She's like, soundtrack? She said, I want you in the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm just a musician. I'm not an actor. She said, you know what you was doing up on stage? That was acting, and you should look into it. To make a long story short, we've had a long, good relationship with each other since then. And we've done a couple movies, Hidden Behind the Veil, which was up by Drew Moreland, and Santos Pasteric as well. We also did Pizza Musical. These things will be released within due time. So if people just want to stay tuned to my Facebook page, I will be releasing the links to the YouTube and anything. Anyway, so I was like, well, you know what? I had this cool idea. I wanted to do like kind of a Spinal Tap movie, you know. I want to do a song. It was basically Silicon Kong is totally a character. And what he is he is a guy that has been in Yinzer, a Steel City guy who's been trying to pound the pavement in Pittsburgh and trying to get recognition for years to no avail. So people just kind of overlooked him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what it was like, and I like to kind of tie that in. I always had this cool idea of tying that into like a movie. And I explained it to her, and I told her about it, and she came back to me a couple of weeks later. She said, let's do it. I was like, do what? She said, let's do this movie. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But to make now we started filming in 22. Okay. What she wanted was a nice timeline of a struggling musician in Pittsburgh. Okay. And we just finished last scene, I think a couple months ago, and that's due for release. And like I said, in the new year, it'll be due for release. Like I said, if anybody wants to keep up on my Facebook page, I also have a Reverb Nation page.
Yes.
It's a music page. Silicon Kong. I always put the links to everything on that. So, yeah, like I said, that's exciting for me. I mean, it's just kind of strange in a way, because like I said, for years I've just been a musician, and all of a sudden I see myself on camera and I see myself on TV, and it's like, whoa. Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool. So
Silicon Kong is the character. You, Ian Hemi, are the you're the
portrayer.
The portrayer. But are you always Silicon Kong on stage, or are you? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, on stage. You know what? I've been around in Pitt. Like I said, this is my home area. Like I said, I'm definitely a Yinzer. I'm from the Pittsburgh region. I've been in countless bands: Leaping the Bull, F6, April's Fool, Still Mana. I've always been the singer and a bassist in a band of some kind of band.
Yeah.
But the Silicon Kong stuff, actually, what happened there? Pseudo A&M was another one I was in. What happened there was I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so everything that you're hearing, I play everything.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, I play it all. I mean, I play. There's songs I'll play mandolin. There's songs I'll play harmonica. There's songs I'll play drum. All the drums are me, they're drum machines. But there's sometimes I use live drums as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the instruments, I play them all. So, You know, and what happened was, because I've always just had a love for music and I just enjoy it so much, right? So I taught myself everything, you know, and there's particular songs that I couldn't really divulge with another band. You know, there's certain feelings with certain songs that I needed to get across in my own dialogue in my own way.
Yeah.
And it just, in a live band, it just wasn't working. So I credit, like I said, the new wave movement and the industrial metal music is a huge influence to me.
Yeah.
So as well as the progressive rock. I mean, of course, let's go back to Pink Floyd, Yes, Crack the Sky, which actually West Virginia's guys, Crack the Sky, great band. If anyone has a chance to check them out, they were kind of overlooked. Very, very good progressive rock band. I actually covered one of their songs called From the Greenhouse. They could probably find that on my YouTube. So if anybody wants to go on my YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, Ian Hemi. Just pull it up and it'll pull everything up. I have, I think, 80 videos up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and that is actually one of them. But anyway, and so I just started tinkering around. I built my own little home studio, and you know, much to my how can I put it? And well, my wife's used to it, so I'm gonna just say that. I've been married 32 years. She's used to it. She supports it. But anyway, and I would just sit around and just you know, I get ideas. Sometimes I start with a drum line. Sometimes it's a bass line, a piano line, a guitar line, lyrics, and I would just sit down and tinker with them.
Yeah.
And they become songs, and they become the material that is now Silicon Kong.
Well, it's got to be very sort of liberating to be able to do that. I mean, obviously, I wonder what it would be like to do that. I've played in a lot of bands. I'm not currently active with that, but I've played in a lot of bands. But I've never done anything where it was just me creating. And I'm not a multi-instrumentalist. You know, I play bass. I can play a little bit of guitar. And
bass is my primary instrument. That's why I started playing. So,
okay. And so in the bands that you fronted, you were the bass player and lead singer?
Yes. I was always the bassist and lead singer.
I'm curious about this. Did you get a lot of people who would be like, whoa, that's unusual? Even though it's not that unusual. I mean, there are singing bass players like Geddy Lee and Tom Araya, but
Corner.
But would people come up to you and be like, whoa, I've never seen that?
Yeah, you know what? The reason why they do that is because I only play 6-string basses.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a huge Primus fan as well.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yep.
So, and, you know, Steve Harris, Geddy Lee, of course, Les Claypool, let me see who else. There's Mark Antois, The Who. I mean, I've always, what happened was, how I started out is I was 15 years old, and a friend of mine who was a neighborhood kid, excellent guitarist. This was back when Metallica was huge. This was during the One era, Metallica. And he was like, dude, we're going to do a band. Oh, you and I was like, dude, I could play guitar. Because at that time, I could play a little bit of guitar. And he was like, oh, no, we already have enough guitarists. I was like, oh, man, if you can play bass, you can be in. So what happened there is my grandmother, God rest her soul, she went to a flea market. Okay, remember, keep in mind, I'm only 14, 15 at the time.
Yeah.
She went to the flea market and found this old Gibson P bass. And she brought it home. I told her, you know, she said, you know, I was actually talking to her about it. And I was like, well, you know, I wanted to be in this band, but they need a bassist. And she said, what's a bass? I said, it's hard, 4 strings. You know, of course, I had to explain it to her.
Yeah.
And that woman came home the next week with one from the flea market. And I learned to play it.
Nice.
And that's where it all started. And I played bass in that band for a while. And the thing about a bassist is we're as hard to find as drummers.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we're harder to find than drummers. And so I just stuck to it. But what happened there, man, is like I perfected it within a year, and then I got bored. So that's when I started turning to Steve Harris.
Okay.
And Geddy Lee, and I started to really, really perfect the bass and in ways that played. I wanted to play it the way no one else did, and with you know locally, no one else could play, and so I did.
Yeah. I can relate to what you're saying about bass players being in high demand. You know, when I was, when I used to be really active, I played at one point I was in 3 different bands that were all actively playing out. And, I was kind of sought after in the scene, but in my case, it was never because I would rate myself as a bass player as average, but I had a good reputation. No drugs or alcohol or anything. People knew they could depend on me to show up, and that went a long way.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah. But with drummers, it's interesting because you mentioned drummers being hard to find. A lot of the guests that we have on the show, and Jenny can attest to this too. It's like, the drummer, if we have a band on, the drummer will be the one member of the band who's in like multiple bands because drummers are so hard to find. And my theory about it is when you're growing up and you start to get interested in playing an instrument, when you got to have the conversation with the parents about how I want to start playing something, if you say drums, that's like the one thing, and maybe the tuba, maybe those are the two things that they're going to try to talk you out of, like, does it have to be that? Because nobody wants all that noise. Yeah. Drummers are really hard to find. Like every drummer I know is in like 10 bands. It's amazing.
Yeah, I have a studio drummer. His name's Kane Cross. If people want to dig him up, he's on Facebook too. But in the last duo, actually, Leaping the Bull was a duo we was in. It was kind of like Royal Blood, but we was a more creepier, kind of gothy version of Royal Blood. We had a run since we started. What happened there was we finished our first CD in November of 2019. Okay, now you know where this is going. I was like, oh, yes, dude, let's get out there. We're going to get out there and nail it. How many months later, boom, pandemic, no one's doing nothing.
Yep.
So what we did is we continued to do some really cool videos. Like if anyone goes on my YouTube, they can find them, the Leaping the Bull videos. They're like mini horror movies. Yeah, they're really, really actually cool. Kind of more, they're cool to watch. It's like a mini horror movie. But anyway, so we continue doing that up until, well, just recently, he sustained an injury on a motorcycle accident.
Ooh.
So he's unable to play. So, unfortunately. But anyway, we was like, oh, yeah, but the pandemic came, and the pandemic, I'm sure it affected everybody as far as being an artist. We were all just knocked down, that was fun, and it was sad. It was really sad. Actually, in this area, Matt, it's sad because 50%, I want to say 50% of the bands that I used to play with in 18 and 19 never came back.
Yeah.
Half of the venues never reopened.
Yeah.
Because that was really hard on everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So during that time period, also, whenever I was doing Leaping the Bull, that's whenever I really started to focus on doing releasing more Silicon Kong things. That I had lots of downtime because in 2020 Leaping the Bull was scheduled to play all year. I mean, we had to cancel every show.
Wow. Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Well, what can you do though? I mean, it's pandemic. I work in the health field myself, so I know that it was terrible.
Yeah.
But
And who knows? I mean, you might not, we have to find these silver linings where we can. And it did kind of force a lot of people to be creative in ways that maybe they hadn't considered. And, some of the projects, that we talk about on the show, different guests that we've had, some of them found themselves kind of in scenarios very similar to yours, where they started just creating their own music on their own, where they didn't necessarily have to be in a room with anybody. And really doing something like Silicon Kong, where, like you said, you're doing it all yourself, and, which is pretty cool. By the way, so when you play live, because you talked about playing live, when you play live as Silicon Kong, are you with a band, or is it all you, or does it vary, or how does?
I'll tell you how I do that. I have like I said, I have a home studio, and what I do, like I said, I record. Like I said, once again, I play everything. So what I'll do is I'll take my laptop. I have 2 or 3 of them, and what I have is I have those songs on a playlist. I use Sony products, recording products, studio products. And what I'll do is I'll take the lyrics out, and I'll just get up and sing to them. Or sometimes I'll take a guitar line out and play guitar, or take a bass line out and I'll play bass. I mean, it varies. I mean, but usually on stage, it's just me.
Okay.
Some kind of outrageous outfit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm also a very big Alice Cooper fan. So.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Ian Hemi about Silicon Kong, and Ian, of course, is a Yinzer. Am I saying that correctly?
Yinzer, yes.
Yinzer.
Yes. And Matt, I just want to point out, I know you're Yinzer, New England. Hey, we can still be friends, man. Okay.
Oh, why is there some sort of sports rivalry I don't know about?
Well, no, we're just referring to the NFL.
Okay. See, I don't know. See, I'm not I'm not
Bruins, and more Bruins.
Jenny knows.
I'm sorry. I gotta stay true. Steelers, and Steelers.
You can try.
See, I have no clue. Jenny knows more about sports ball than me. I don't. I know nothing. I don't even know. I don't know how many innings are in a football game. I don't know anything. I'm
Here
just.
we go again.
I'm completely lost. But
like I said, I work with one lady. She's from New England, and we always discuss the football. You know, she's a huge Patriots, and you know, me and her are always kind of going at it. So
yeah. So I'm really curious to see this movie. I'm a huge. By the way, this is Spinal Tap. Happens to be my favorite film of all time.
Wow, then you'll love it. You'll love it.
So I'm very curious to see it. And this is supposed to come out in January of 25. Is that correct?
Right now, it's on YouTube, and my producer, like I said, Drew Moreland, is working on various streaming platforms.
Yeah,
she's working on those now. So by the time it happens, and by the time right now the movie is in post-production. So by the time she's done with all of that, and the woman is awesome. I mean, she does so much. Like I said, she's a producer, a director, an actor, an author. Oh my God. Like I said, I definitely, like I said, I can't stress enough, but I'm going to put on my Facebook page after we're done here, a link to her book. It's called the Horrific. This is cool. The Horrific Tales of Artificial Intelligence.
Oh.
Okay, and her full name is Drew Lene Moreland, and I will post that on my timeline on my Facebook. So if people want to go and check it out, it's an awesome read. Actually, back to that real fast, and I'll get back to the movie. She actually started writing the book, I want to say 8 months ago.
Okay.
And we was talking about it. You know, me and her were just kind of brainstorming about it because as Silicon Kong, as you can tell, has a AI thing going.
Yeah.
Some kind of AI vibe going. And we was talking about it, and she was like, you know, we was discussing how just mankind becomes really dependent on AI and various reasons in many ways.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what? When you write the book, I will write a song. So when your book is done, I will let people know, hey, here's the book, and this is a song inspired by that book. And actually, I'll have to send that to you. It's actually a song called Cyber Jesus.
Okay.
And I will be releasing it here within the next week because her book, like I said, she just finished her book and just put it up for sale last week.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I will be releasing that. It's a brand new tune, and it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Send it to us. You know, something that we love to do here on the show. We do world radio premieres.
Oh, okay.
So we would love to be the first FM station to air it.
Yeah. I said I have an internet station that waiting for it too. But
cool.
First FM, yeah, you can have the First FM. Yeah, you can have it.
Awesome. We love it. Yeah. Very cool. And we'll
back to the movie. So what about the movie again?
No, I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, she's working on back to that. She's working on various streaming platforms. Like I said, her ultimate release date she'd like to do January 25.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, as soon as that's up and as soon as the information is released to me, you know, I will be putting it up on all my social medias. I have Instagram, I'm on X, TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I have YouTube, Reverb Nation. Like I said, all you got to do is type in Ian Hemi on your Google time. It'll pull up everything.
Okay.
And you can, anyone and everyone can find me.
Hey, where's the name come from, by the way? Silicon Kong.
Good story. I got time, I'll tell you.
Oh, we got time. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know. I grew up in the late 70s and early 80s. Okay, so every year I don't know if they did the same thing in New England, but here in Pittsburgh, every year at Thanksgiving time, it was kind of like a tradition with my family. You know, of course, Thanksgiving, the big holiday for a lot of families. But anyway, every year they would play King Kong on Thanksgiving Day. It would be I'll never forget it. It was always Wizard of Oz was first, and then they would play King Kong. That's back when we only had 3 or 4 channels to watch. Remember?
Yeah, I remember when they would play Wizard of Oz. They might even still do that.
Yeah, I think they still do. But I remember back then, and they would always play King Kong right up, the original King Kong, of course. And King Kong was always kind of like my favorite monster movie. I mean, I love Godzilla and Gamera and all that, but King Kong was always the top. Anyway, back to the name. I was sitting around, like I said, coming in and out of bands like I was doing. And I was trying to think of a cool thing. I was just like, well, maybe I'll just release, these songs under Ian Hemi. And I was like, nah, that's not really that cool. Anyway, I was sitting down one day and I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was just kind of messing around. And the newest King Kong with Jack Black. You ever see that movie?
Oh, I'm aware of it. I've never actually watched it, though.
Well, it's a newer movie. I mean, it was like the whole start of it all. But anyway, that movie was on, and it was on a Sunday, and we was watching it downstairs. And I was just that's at that time my home studio was downstairs, and I'm looking around. I was just kind of messing around with my music and that, and I was like, wow. I said, the new remake of the King Kong with Jack Black is excellent. So if anybody gets a chance, definitely check it out. Anyway, so I was like, wow, and I just kind of reverting back to my childhood, how much I loved King Kong.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, I wish I could use that somehow. And I was like, Kong. I could be king of the electronics. And then my friend said, hey, wait a minute, why don't you go with electronic Kong? And I was like, wait, and jokingly, I came upstairs, and my son was watching something on YouTube or something like that. And they mentioned Silicon Valley.
Okay.
While I was going to the restroom. I went back downstairs, and just half-heartedly and out of nowhere, I just said, how about if I just go to Silicon Kong? And he was like, dude,
yep,
that's it.
Yep.
So I'm the king of the electronics.
I can tell you, so Friday nights, I'm a co-host on a show called Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. And so during the show, Paul always asks me to plug whatever I'm going to be doing here on Saturday morning. And so I mentioned, I said Silicon Kong, and he loved the name. He had not heard it before. And he was like, that's great. He loved it.
Last Halloween, there another local band, Jessica Bella Band, good band. Check them out. You can find them on the internet too. Jessica Bella Band. She's a cute little Pittsburgh pop singer. Anyway, we work. They have a company called MOP Records.
Okay.
Being an artist, an actor and a musician, we all try to help each other out here. That's what you do.
Yeah.
If we can help each other out in some form artistically, we will. Anyway, she was doing a show, and she invited me to come up to her show last Halloween, and kind of make, I'm kind of promoting the movie. I've been promoting the movie probably really hard for, I'd say, about 8 months now, because like I said, I knew we was wrapping it up and finishing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got up on stage. Before I went on stage, I was outside this place called Jurgles in Pittsburgh. And, this one lady came up, and she, hey, how you doing? Of course, and we're talking, I'm dressed up almost, dressed up in everything except for my mask. So she knew I was some kind of artist there for a purpose.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she said, oh, yeah, who you are? I said, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to do a little thing on stage. She said, what's your name? I said, Silicon Kong. She said, that is an awesome villain name. I was like, yes, it is.
Yes, that's true.
That just kind of stuck to me. I just kind of remembered that.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. And I think it's cool that you're doing stuff with Grimrock, but you
Grim's awesome. Grim.
You kind of hinted, but it sounds like you've got things in the works that you can't necessarily talk about yet, or
no, not right now. Me and Grim, we have a plan.
Okay.
All I can tell you is your listeners, not just to stay posted to me or Grimrock, and for further information.
Okay. Did you say all I can tell yous? Is that
Yeah.
That's Pittsburgh right there.
I'm sorry, that's my Pittsburgh dialogue.
Gotcha. I do feel like I've had that.
You got that, Nat? We do that a lot too. And Nat.
Oh.
And that.
Wow, you really do have your own dialect there.
Yeah, we do.
That's amazing. Are you able to play out a lot? Are there a lot of good, you did mention after the pandemic or during the pandemic, a lot of venues closed, but
it's sad. A lot of them just never reopened, and it was just so sad.
And what you're doing is unique. Are there still a lot of places to play, or do you hit the road and get out of the area and play some places, or?
I'll tell you what, Matt. We just recently, thanks to Grim Rock, actually, I'd have to say I have to thank Grim Rock for that. But just recently, I've been racking shows up left and right. Back now, I can also say like Silicon Kong was somewhat around during the pandemic and that. But prior to that, I was in just real quick story here. I've always kind of liked it. Strange musical combinations. Like there's a band, I was in an industrial metal band called F6. Now what that consisted of was me playing bass and singing, and my friend guitarist at the time, Dustin Marks, was the guitarist, and we would come up on stage with just a computer,
Wow.
And we play guitar, I would play bass and sing. So years, and then after that, I also did another thing called Pseudo Anno with Jeff Gedemy, and we would do the same thing. He would do the singing part, and I would kind of do the rapping, kind of creepier rock vibe.
Yeah.
The strange thing about that, why I'm mentioning that, is then this is between 2005 and I'd say 14 or 15, and we would go out there, and people would be like, "Dude, where's your drummer? Dude, where's your drummer? Where's your band?" So at first we weren't like, this kind of coincides with what I do. It really wasn't well accepted.
Yeah.
People in Pittsburgh want to see bands. They want to
Right.
see a whole stage full of people headbanging, playing their instruments, whatever the case may be. So for me to get up there, and Grim can attest to this, he's actually had to deal with this as well.
Yeah.
Getting up on stage as just you playing something or what back then was not accepted. But since the pandemic, I will say this. I mean, nothing good came of that pandemic. I don't care what anyone says. It was terrible in every possible way.
Yeah.
But the only thing that did come out is we decided, going out on stage with a computer or whatever, and like a lot of the rappers or hip hop artists would do. Now it's accepted.
Yeah.
Now people are like, hey, that's pretty cool now. So it kind of works out for that. So because of that, like I said, now because of that, and it's more widely accepted in the area. Yeah, I got lots of shows coming up. So
Yeah. Well, plus I would imagine too, other bands must love playing with you, because when you get to play with someone who like if you're opening for somebody and they have to follow you, and you're not going to take, you don't have you don't need 20 minutes to break down a drum set. You know what I mean?
Oh, they do like it. And like I said, the thing about it is there's a few bands, excuse me, out here, God Hates Unicorns, Primate. There's a few of the bands that did survive the pandemic, and we're all of us are really tight in the area.
Yeah.
The Perishables. There's a couple other bands, like I said. And the thing about that is we just all, even though we may be different styles and different genres, we all support each other. I mean, there's a handful of us that support each other. Of course, it's just like any other big city. There are some bands that are like, yeah, great show, and then as soon as you turn around, they're stabbing you in the back. There's
sure.
There's quite a few of those too. But the thing about it is, like these guys, like I said, back to the God Hates Unicorns and Primate and Perishable. These are guys that are really down to earth, excellent human beings.
That's good.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we stick with that. We basically like to stick with our little circle of various bands that we like to play with. So yeah, and we enjoy playing for each other. I mean, I've opened up for God Hates Unicorns. I've done stuff with Primate, and we always had a great time. We loved it. We all support each other.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. God Hates Unicorns. I've heard that name. That name came up on the show recently.
God Hates Unicorns.
Grim,
yes, they're awesome.
Grim might have mentioned them, but
yeah, they're awesome. I will say, I can't really purvey much, but I'll just be saying they'll be around with us in one form or another in the future. So yeah, just stay tuned. Like I said, people just gonna have to go on the Facebook pages, mine and Grim's website, and just keep posted.
Yeah,
because there's some surprises coming. That's all I got to say.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Well, we look forward to that. Well, listen, Ian Hemi, also known as Silicon Kong, we're gonna have to let you go in a moment, but it's been wonderful having you on. I've really enjoyed talking with you.
I enjoyed being here,
and I'm a big fan of what you're doing. I love your music.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate Yun's for supporting, guys like me and Grim. It's awesome because every little bit helps. And like I said, back to the Facebook pages, go on the Facebook pages. Likes are cool. Shares are better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Feel free to.
Absolutely. What should people know about where to find you online?
Like I said, really back to what I said. You just type in Ian Hemi, and anything that is affiliated with Silicon Kong in any possible way, we'll pull up on one of the, if not all. I'm on the IDMB, the actors thing on, the Hollywood actors thing. I mean, I'm also a producer and a writer. Like I said, I've done things with movies and stuff like that. So anywhere you type in Ian Hemi and pull it up, just click the link, and I'm sure you'll find a link to take you to everything that I do.
Yes. You are very Googleable.
Yes, very Googleable. I like that. We'll go with that.
Yes. Very good. I'm going to close out the segment with this is another track that I found on Reverb Nation that I really like. Twitter Padded. I really like
Twitter Pated.
Oh, it's Pated.
Yeah, you got real quick. I'll tell you the story behind that. You know where that came from?
No.
Jenn, do you know where that came from?
Oh, she's actually out of the room for a moment.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, growing up, Disney. Let's go back to growing up. Bambi. The movie Bambi.
Yeah.
Remember whenever Bambi's like, what's wrong with them? Oh, they're okay. They're just Twitter pated.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Cartoons are my life. I love comedies and cartoons. I'm very animated, as you can tell.
Yeah. Awesome.
And that's also the John Burroughs remix.
Oh, okay.
John Burroughs. John Burroughs?
I feel like I do.
Look it up.
All right. Very good. All right. Ian Hemi, AKA Silicon Kong. Thank you so much, my friend. I can't wait to see the movie. And I'm sure we'll, what's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, people, like I said, just find me. Mainly, a lot of that stuff will be released on my, mainly my Facebook pages.
Okay.
So, people just follow me, friend me, whatever you want to do if you want to get more information on it. And also on my Facebook pages, you can scroll through it and it'll take you. I also have a Facebook page for Silicon Kong himself. I also have another Facebook page for the Still City Architect of Pittsburgh Documentary itself too.
Oh,
you can find that on Facebook.
Excellent. All right, Ian Hemi, we'll let you go for now, but I'm sure we will talk again in the future.
I hope so. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, you take care now, Nat.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Ian Hemi, yes, from Pittsburgh, also known as Silicon Kong, and we'll close out the segment with again this track. It's actually pronounced Twitter Pated, and then coming up we have Under the Horizon is going to be here with us live in studio. So plenty more to come. Don't go away.
has left the building. Ian Hemi has left the building. Thank you.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit craigatzulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry. located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at QueenCityCabinetryNH.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Grolin Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Grolin handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Grolin.com or call Grolin Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Grolin Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Is this really love? seeping through my skin. Is this real? Do you even have a clue? Or am I crazy and I just really want you? I want you, but I can't have you. I want you, but I can't have you. I want you, but I can't have you. I want you, but I could never have you. I want you, but I can't have you. I want you, but I can't have you. I want you, but I can't have you. I could never have you. I really want you. I could never have you.
That is called Want You. And the band is Under the Horizon. And we're going to be talking to these fine people in just a moment. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. Streaming live, of course, at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnarton.com. And go to mattconnarton.com/live, in fact. And Jenny is here, of course, at the news table. Why can't I hear you? Well, there we go. Sorry.
You turned me off again.
I did.
This is what I put up with.
That's what happens.
I am present and accounted for.
Yes.
That's what happens when what?
When you get up and leave the room. Yes.
Yeah, you are.
And
My back is turned. That's what it is.
Yes. And of course, today is Saturday, August 24, 2024. And joining us live in studio, we do have the members of Under the Horizon. We have Matt, Jordan, and Izzy. Did I get everyone's name correctly? Yep. Yeah. Yes, welcome. And Matt, you've got a proud papa in studio with you.
Yes, I do.
He doesn't want to be on a microphone, but I know this man very well from back in the day.
Yes, I've heard.
Wonderful to see him. And he looks the same. He hasn't changed, which is cool.
I get that a lot, actually. I hear that he looks pretty similar, other than the hair.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true of all of us. But because when I run into people, when I see people I haven't seen in a really long time, I just expect them to be like, not the same.
Sure. Yeah.
But he looks the same, which is nice. Which is really cool. But no, I love that track. Now the three of, well, actually, so what does everybody do in the band? So Matt, you're the drummer.
Yes, I am. Drummer and vocalist.
And Jordan.
Guitarist, some vocals.
And
Bassist and vocalist.
Okay. Now what's interesting about that is and you probably hear this all the time, there's not a lot of singing bass players for whatever reason. No. There's some, but we were talking about that with our guest in the previous hour, Ian Hemi, his project Silicon Kong. He's a singing bass player, but it's not something you see a lot of for whatever reason. But so yeah, is it just the three of you on all the recordings? Because you sound for a three-piece, and you probably hear this a lot too, but for a trio, you got a big sound.
Right. Yeah. It's just the three of us, and we thought about adding like another guitarist into the mix. Like a lot of bands, they have a rhythm and a lead guitarist. But part of the reason why we started this band was because we were aggravated with the difficulties of our previous bands that we were already in. So we're like, we don't want to add anyone to complicate the mix. What I mean? So yeah, it's just the three of us. We all really trying to kind of work together to create our sound. And on the album, we wanted, like you said, a big sound, but we also wanted it to not sound impossible to achieve live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that ever a challenge?
I would say no.
No. I mean, there's definitely some times where like it feels a little different, but for the most part, it seems pretty full, like live.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that is. By the way, I have to compliment you on, well, I think I mentioned it too when you walked in, but your shirt, Ace Frehley. Kiss is my all-time favorite band, and
me too.
I love Ace. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah, 10,000 volts. I remember when that came out, and it people were kind of surprised that it was as successful as it was. I
mean, it sounded was it compared to his last albums? Like it sounded a little different. It had a different vibe to it, and
Yeah.
I liked how it was produced and stuff. And his voice was a lot more. It seemed like he was doing a lot more actual singing than just
Right.
like talking into the mic and being like New York, New York. Or whatever.
right. I agree. So how long has this existed? This band? How long have the three of you been doing this?
Almost a year now. Like I think late September will be a year. So
Okay. Well, that's impressive that, it's been under a year and you've already got, how many tracks are on the album? 9?
9.
Yeah.
And, and for people watching online here, let me put the overhead camera on so I can show. So, Mike gave me a copy of this, Under the Horizon, and I'll kind of hold that up for the camera. Probably I'll hold it up in pictures too afterward. But who did the, I like the artwork. Who did the artwork?
I mean, I guess I would be the culprit of that. But
Yeah.
it wasn't. I will admit we didn't like hand draw that. We used AI because I saw a lot of the stuff that people were doing with AI, creating images and all that, and I liked how it could create a somewhat surreal scenario, like almost something you would see in a dream because it's not perfect.
Right.
It's different. Nothing's exact. Everything's a little mismatched and all of that. So
That's interesting.
We came up with that, or we got that from AI when we were trying to figure out album covers.
Yeah.
And we just really liked it. And we're like, you know what? Let's embrace this new technology here. And that's what you see on the album cover there.
There is artwork though on the actual disc that I
Yes.
also had done.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm such a nerd for this stuff. Do you remember like what kind of prompts you used to get that? Do you remember?
So, I think it was like a setting called like Halloween themed or something like that, because we wanted to go something like kind of gothy, kind of metal, kind of, to fit with our sound. So I got that, and I got a couple of images, and I sent them all to the band, and they were like, yeah, we like that one. So
Yeah.
it just ended up being the cover. And
Yeah, no, I dig it. I know that's an odd question. Probably, you don't expect to be asked, what kind of prompts did you use?
No.
I think it's a good question because I didn't know that you had to do that.
Yeah.
With the art.
We're so fascinated around here by AI in general. That's something Jenny and I talk about a lot on the show, is AI and the impact on the music industry and how people are using it to create. And no, that's very, very cool. Where's the picture on the back? Of course, is a band photo. Where was that taken?
My backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were that was before we filmed the video for our song Orchids in the Sunrise. And we were just like, let's take band pictures, because we're all done up or whatever, and nice clothes or metal clothes, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And we were just going around my house taking photos, and we went out back to that truck that I'm leaning up against. That's a project truck of mine that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And we were just took the picture, and we were looking through, and we're like, wow, that's actually a really good photo of us. Let's use that on the back cover.
Yeah. We had a question I don't want to forget too, and Jenny mentioned it. There's a question in the chat room. Alan McIntyre
Yes.
joins us in the chat and says, ask Izzy what her favorite song by Vixen is. LOL.
No. It's a joke between us.
You don't have a favorite Vixen song?
No.
How dare you?
I did get to meet Brit Lightning though.
Did you? Yeah.
In February, yeah.
Oh, because they just played at was it at the Tupelo? They just played there, right? Because it was
I'm not quite sure.
Because we had a band on Purging Sin. I don't know if you know Purging Sin. But
Yeah, I've heard of them actually.
Yeah. They opened when they were here on the show a couple months ago. They were talking about opening for Vixen, which was weird to me because Purging Sin, they're very dark and heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you did, but they did it. I think it was at the Tupelo. But yeah, so you met Brit Lightning?
Yeah, I did like this rock and roll fantasy camp in
Oh,
LA. And
yeah.
I got to meet a lot of like people who actually made it in the industry. Like,
So you went to one of those?
yes, I did.
Oh, no kidding.
I got to meet Nancy Wilson as well.
Oh, wow.
She's like my idol. So
I was gonna say, yeah, she must be. Yeah. Who else? Who else was there?
I mean, there was like a really good handful. There was a couple people like that were there to meet. Like, they had the brothers of STP.
Oh, the DeLeos, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, also some of the counselors that were there. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like good people. There was a bassist of LA Guns. His name is Johnny Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like a kind of the person who ran my little group because we had there was a couple of bands that we at the camp, and we played at the Viper Room.
Yeah.
And the Troubadour.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I see videos of these rock and roll fantasy camps online, and they look really fun. So when you say your little group, so what did they divide everyone into groups, and then you had like one of these famous rock stars kind of runs the group, and
exactly.
and then what is there a process of like you all write a song together, or
no, we more just like pick a couple songs to work on between like it's around 4 days.
Yeah.
And we perform them. I mean, I was with other teenagers.
Okay.
We were all teens.
Oh, very cool. How many days is it?
I think mine was 4 days.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild. What why did you like, what motivated you to go and do that?
Well, I actually had gotten it as a gift, but mostly to meet Nancy Wilson.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a huge fan of her.
Yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Is she I mean, is she an influence on you vocally, or I mean, I would think Ann Wilson would probably be a big influence.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge Heart fan.
Yeah, no doubt. Who else is an influence on you in terms of your vocals?
I would say Pat Benatar a lot, and a bit of Joan Jett as well.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, what about you, Jordan? In terms, obviously, Ace Frehley, a big influence. Who else influences you on guitar?
In terms of guitar, I'd say like some Van Halen.
Yeah.
You know, Eddie Van Halen definitely really influential.
Yeah.
All the tapping and all that stuff. I've gotten some things about how there's Randy Rhoads type stuff in my guitar playing, which like I do like Randy Rhoads. So I'd say him too.
Yeah.
Kirk Hammett, you know, people like that.
Yeah.
I think what makes them so special is sometimes they can take fairly simple things and they'll put it in the song as a solo and make it fit, which is like a pretty good skill to have, you know, like just because it's fast and flashy doesn't mean it's good, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And I can hear the Kirk Hammett in your solos. I can definitely hear that. Yeah. What about you, Matt, as far as drums and, or vocal, because you sing too, right?
Yeah. Oh God, there's a lot. I mean, my primary influence for drums, I mean, a lot of people laugh when I say it, but I'll say it because it's true, is Lars Ulrich from Metallica. I saw Metallica when I was like 10, and for some reason, something about Lars up on stage behind the drum set, it just really inspired me to play.
Yeah.
So then I picked it up, and I mean, I'm influenced by him and Joey Jordison of Slipknot, all the drummers of Slipknot, really, they're all great. Vinnie Paul, Neil Peart, you know, all the good guys who give you a lot to listen to on the drum set.
Right, yeah.
And vocally, I'd say my primary influences are James Hetfield and Corey Taylor.
Yeah.
Metallica and Slipknot.
I can hear the Corey Taylor.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of the songwriting, I mean, how does that work in this band? Do you all write together? Does somebody bring in an idea and you?
I think what happened.
Yeah, it's a mix of both.
It's definitely like one person will come in with lyrics, or they'll have like with Izzy Want You, she had the lyrics and she had the, you know, bass notes, you know, whatever the notes were, and I was like, it kind of just formed together. He came up with his drum part on the spot. I made my own guitar part, and we kind of just experimented a couple times, ran it, you know, through 3 or 4 times maybe.
That quick?
Yeah, it comes together really fast. It's surprising.
Well, that's when you know you've really got something, right? When the songs come together quickly, then you know you've got that magic, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well, I assume some of these songs, because, you know, some of them are you know, that's a fairly straightforward song, but some of them are pretty complex. I mean, I would imagine the more complex ones take longer, or maybe not.
I mean, realistically, all the songs that we have wrote, I mean, were at max took us an hour to write and get fully played with, all of us together, or at the very least the instrumental part of it. Obviously lyrics come later with some songs, but I mean most of the stuff that we have done, I mean there were days that we wrote 3 or 4 songs in a day within the span of a 4-hour practice.
No kidding.
Wasn't it like it was better in and out, and I'm pretty sure it might have been Within My Eyes. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, something. Yeah, because we all, because we were, all 3 of us used to be in cover bands.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, me and Jordan were in a cover band together, and Izzy was in a cover band. And actually how me and Izzy met was that both of our cover bands played in a battle of the bands together.
Oh, wow.
And we both met up afterwards. I'm like, hey, you're really good at vocals. And she's like, yeah, you're really good at drums. So we just kind of like, okay. And then years later, we decided, let's form something here. So we were in our own cover band. So we had all this time to come up with these riffs and songs and lyrics and stuff for the day that we were eventually in an original band, what we wanted to be in.
Yeah.
So it all came together really quickly. And I mean, we've already started writing for the second album. We have like half of it already.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'd say we wrote most of our songs. Like we wrote the 8 songs that we have that are original within like 3 or 4 months.
No kidding.
Yeah, we had we started recording in April, so
right. Yeah.
3 months, I think.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, talking about influences, somebody in the chat room made me realize. I think it was Alan McIntyre. Oh yeah. Mentioned. I never asked you about bass.
I mean,
I'm a bass player, so I can't believe I forgot to ask you about your influences on bass. I am curious.
I mean, I guess like my bass lines aren't really too complex because I'd say I do vocal. Like I focus more on the vocals.
Yeah.
Per se. I mean, there are a lot of great bassists that I love, but it is a bit difficult to sing and play the bass, which is why I feel you find a lot less bassists and vocalists.
Interesting. Yeah. So you keep it fairly simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about like, do you approach it any differently? Like if Matt's singing, do you approach that any differently as far as your bass, or do you?
I mean, like, as of like our first album, it's still not too complex, but I'm definitely getting more into the creative writing part of bass lines.
Okay. Isaac Banks is asking, and this isn't anyone you would know. We Jenny and I are very familiar with Isaac Banks, aren't we? Isaac Banks is asking, Izzy, who are your influences? What's your favorite Evanescence song? Do you have a favorite Evanescence song? Probably more likely that you have a favorite Evanescence than Vixen.
Right now it's Going Under. I love that song vocally. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, Amy Lee's a great, she's a great singer.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of the band, and like, do you all as a band, do you have a particular vibe or a particular sound that you try to achieve, or is it more organic? How does that work?
I mean, I'd say we have a various amount of sounds. All of our songs are kind of different, but they all still sound like they're made by us.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
I think my dad, I think he might have been like one of the first people to be like, yeah, I mean, all the songs are like really unique, but they all have a specific touch to them that makes it like has some identification to us.
Yeah.
Which is like great.
Yeah.
We have a different sound on every song, which makes the album seem a little more like experimental, I guess.
Yeah.
But you can still be like, oh yeah, this is that one band. It's not like there's features on the band or random people just coming in and playing songs or writing songs. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I'd say that our sound is definitely more metal focused, or at least we're, aiming to be more considered a metal band. But even then, we have a lot of influences outside of, the basic rock and metal. But even within that, we like bands that often, you wouldn't picture their fans being in the same room.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a lot of dinner parties happening with Heart fans, Kiss fans, and like, I don't know, Slayer fans or something like that. I'm using that as an example.
Right.
But I mean, I think from the beginning, with all our influences combined, we kind of tried to create something like if Heart was written by like Slipknot or something like that, something heavy, but with a little bit of like glam edge of the past or something like that, something, a sound that most people can listen to, kind of like your second ever metal band you're listening to or whatever, something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, what I think too is cool about your sound and a band like this is there's a timelessness to it.
Yeah.
Because if you just played this for me and I didn't know anything about you and you said, when do you think this was recorded? I wouldn't know. It could have been yesterday. It could have been 30 years ago. Yeah. There's a timelessness to it that I think is really cool.
Well, thank you.
So, yeah. Absolutely. Are you playing a lot of shows? Are you doing a lot of live stuff or?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, we're doing a show tonight. We're doing one with two other bands, Tainted Hearts and Day to Attend.
Oh, Day to Attend. We had them on the show recently.
Did you?
Love Day to Attend. We've had them on a couple times. Oh, they're amazing. I love Jeff's voice. And
he's a good vocalist.
And the new album is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. That they have this one song, Not Coming Back. It gets stuck in my head. Like some days I wake up with it in my brain. Yeah, I love Day to Attend. Yeah, absolutely. So you're playing with them tonight?
Yeah, at the Rochester Performing Arts Center.
Excellent.
Yeah, all ages. Show starts at 8 for if anyone wants to come and see us. And then we're also opening up for Great White.
Yes.
At the Tupelo Music Hall in Derry.
Yep, Jenny and I are going to be at that show.
Good to know. Anyone who wants to come to that again, all ages, 5:30. And then we have we're opening up for Queensryche again.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, at Tupelo Music Hall in Derry. That one starts at 6:30. And then we have Keene Music Fest in Keene at 1:30. I'm looking at my notes here. Sorry.
That's all right.
1:30 to 2:15. So yeah, we're starting to get some shows, and I mean the two shows there, Great White and Queensryche. I remember he came out to me. I was working on my car. He came out to me. He's like, "I need to tell you something. I don't even know if I can tell you." And I'm like, "What is it?" You know what I mean? And he's like, "I got you guys an opening slot for Great White and Queensryche," and we're like, "What?" You know what I mean? There's a thing in the group chat that we're like, how is this even possible? It's still, I don't even think it's still even fully set into us.
We're playing tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, right. So, yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, by the way, too, your dad gave us these. Let me put the big camera on again so I can hold this up. You'll be able to see it better in the pictures. We'll take pictures after the show, but this wonderful shirt. I love it. So is that your official logo on the shirt?
That's a little bit of a complicated situation there. I guess so, yeah. Like, it's kind of like our little, I guess, mascot, you could say. We don't even have, like, a name for it yet or anything, but it's just something I honestly, like, sketched out in a little piece of notebook paper and sent to them, and they're like, we love that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it's our logo, mascot. I don't really know. Like,
I will see it in my nightmares this evening, probably. just so you know. But no, that's cool, though. That's cool.
You.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got plenty of time to, over time, you can always maybe come up with a backstory or or whatever. Give it a name. Like No, that's cool. That's cool. And I like the. Where does the name come from, by the way? Under the Horizon.
It's funny. So when we first started to like write originals, we were like, yeah, we need a name, and we came up with all these names. I think one that I remember is you came up with Just In, because you want like new generation of artists or whatever. Mm-hmm. I went on.
Wait, what was it going to be?
It was going to be Just In.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
I went on to Google and searched up like cool band names or whatever. And it came up with Over the Horizon or something, or Over a Horizon.
Okay.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, Under sounds gloomy. Under sounds metal. I guess.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. Yeah.
So, and I came back and I was like, hey, what do you think about Under the Horizon?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh yeah, it's cool. We like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Izzy wrote the title track Under the Horizon where we really like had a meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Did you go through any others that you kind of? I love hearing about rejected band names. Were there any others, or did that one present itself pretty early?
I think you had some.
I was gonna say I feel like I contributed some, but I can't. They must have been so bad that I can't even remember what they are right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they were bad. It was just they were a lot more. I don't know.
Didn't have that ring to it.
They didn't have that ring. They were very like I don't want to say stock metal names, but they had a very like predictable type of name to it.
Yeah.
They were cool, but like
right,
wasn't what we were looking for.
Right, they didn't really fit our style because I guess to me, with my musical influences, I always thought that the original band that I was going to end up in was going to be the next Slayer, the next Pantera, the next, whatever. So I came up with all these names with like blood and like all this, angry, violent things, you know what I mean, in metal music. And then, here it was like, well, it's not just metal. It's not just speed. It's not just death. Right. It's not whatever, you know what I mean? It's all these, it's a, what's that word? I don't know, a melting pot of all our influences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a crucible. That's the $10 vocabulary word for that one right there. Yeah.
Well played, sir.
Thank you. Of all our musical influences. So my names didn't really work, but yeah, Under the Horizon came and it was like, yeah, that fits for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the challenge too, when naming a band, is trying to find something that nobody else already has, or so you don't get in any trouble. Obviously there was a time, and he's old enough to remember too, when when you couldn't just go online and just Google something and just figure out if somebody else already has it. So I tell this story a lot. I went to high school with, and he might even be listening, Xander Carlson, really, really talented guitarist. I think he's still active in the scene, but and he and I were in a band in high school, just kind of briefly, but I ran into him after high school, and he had a band called, he's telling me about this new band he's in. He said, it's called Intuition. And he said that to me, and immediately I'm thinking, oh God, somebody's Intuition? It's too obvious. There's probably already 1,000 bands that are already out there using that name. Right. And I swear to God, I ran into him again. I just happened to run into, we shopped at the same convenience store. I run into him again like 6 months later, and I asked him, how's the band? And he goes, oh, good, but we had to change our name because we heard from some cover band in Massachusetts. They're already using the name, and they don't want us using it. And I, I'm too polite to say it, but in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Of course that happened. You called the band Intuition.
know.
But but I think Under the Horizon's a very, very cool name. We should let's play another track. But I'm going to put you on the spot. I'll let you pick. What would you like to hear next, or to share with the audience?
Maybe In and Out.
In and Out?
Yeah, that's a good catchy one for all you out there.
Yeah, I like that one. I like I said, I listened to the whole thing, and that's also one of the ones that stood out to me. Are these all available? Are these on Spotify and everything for people who want to hear them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, every streaming platform that you could possibly think of, the album's there. And also, if you still listen to physical music, which I know it's a rare breed out there, but for those of you that want to buy a CD, you can not only buy it off of our website, underthehorizon.org, but also it's on sale at all Bull Moose locations.
Good.
Music Connection down the road in Manchester, and Pitchfork in Concord, and also, funnily enough, Tenny Farm Stand in Antrim, New Hampshire. It's weird to think of a metal band CD going on sale at a farm stand, but
do they have a CD section? What?
No, actually, we're the first CD they've ever sold.
Yeah.
But we're what? Yeah, they're actually our best-selling location.
Really?
We're friends with the owner of it, and he wanted to support. So we're like,
cool.
You want to sell our CDs? Like, yeah, sure. So it's on sale. So you can buy cucumbers and corn, and then a brand new CD to listen to on the way home.
That's awesome. All right, let's give this a spin. This is called In and Out. If you are just joining us, we have Under the Horizon here with us live in studio. But check this out.
repeat every word you say. Every week is something new. You say you love me, but is it true? So confused on how I feel, but one look at you seals the deal. I'm falling in and out and in and out love again. You got full control and you're using it. You got me. Falling in and out and in and out love again. I'm falling in and out and in. I'm losing my head. I'm losing it. Falling in and out and in and out love again. In and out and in. I'm losing my
That is catchy as hell. That is In and Out, and the band is Under the Horizon. And we have Under the Horizon here with us live in studio, if you are just joining us this Saturday morning on Matt Connarton Unleashed. And for those of us who are just joining us, so you've got a show tonight. We should mention that again for people just tuning in.
Yeah. Show tonight, Rochester Performing Arts Center. All ages, $10 cover charge, and the doors open at 7. We're playing with Day to Attend, which we talked about previously. Great band.
Yeah.
And actually, we're playing with another band, a cover band that Izzy's in called Tainted Hearts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What's so yeah, tell us about that. Does Tainted Hearts do a lot of shows, and what kind of covers do you do?
Well, we haven't been together for too long, but we did play a show actually at the RPAC, and we also played one at the Hudson Old Homestay. But we do mostly like rock, like more poppier rock cover songs.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Cool. Now, what about you guys? Are either of you in other projects as well, or?
I'm in a lot, so Jordan, you go first.
Of course you are. You're a drummer. But
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the only other projects that I'm in is a cover band that he's also in.
Oh, okay.
Room 301. We covered. I don't really think we have a specific genre that we stick to.
Yeah.
We just cover whatever is a hit song and sounds good. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
a student-led rock cover band that's actually connected to our high school.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, the high school, when I first came in as a freshman, it was like just starting out. And, they were playing like, Green Day, Nirvana, really basic, intro level stuff. But I could tell that some of the musicians in there were really good. And to be honest with you, I saw the drummer they had at the time, and I didn't really think he was that good. So I eventually found myself behind the drum set, and then the rest was history. So yeah, it's a student-led rock cover band. So we play at like all the school band concerts along with, concert band and choir. But then we also do stuff like, school festivals, like field days and stuff like that. And we also do some outside of school gigs, but it's kind of been slowing down a little bit because me and Jordan have been obviously occupied with this band here.
Yeah. No, the reason I made the comment about, well, of course you're in other bands, you're a drummer, is because it's a subject on the show a lot. I think it even came up when we were talking with Silicon Kong earlier about how every drummer is in so many bands, and because drummers are hard to find.
I guess we are. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're always, every drummer I've talked to, it's like, yeah, I'm in 3 bands, and me myself, I'm also in 3 bands. So, I guess we're hard to find, and we just we're like, yeah, whatever. We can do both of these. Honestly, we're pretty bad. We're pretty famous for like cheating as musicians. You know what I mean? We're cheating on our previous bands with other bands and stuff like that. It's pretty bad, actually, but whatever.
Yeah. So what else? So there's a third band that you're in?
Yeah. Well, kind of. It's like just starting out.
Oh, okay.
It's a band called Blowflies. They're out of Keene.
Oh.
And it's with a buddy that I actually met in the cover band room 301, the bass player, Doc Cassidy, wonderful bass player. But yeah, they're just starting out. It's more of a, I don't even know what you would call it, like a post, kind of grungy, kind of Midwest emo, kind of little bit of everything. So a little bit more out of my style, but they're just starting out, and I've been playing with them. We've done one show together.
Yeah. My theory about the reason with drummers they're always in so many bands is because when you're growing up and you first become interested in playing an instrument, you got to have the talk with the parents.
Right.
A lot of parents are going to be like, drums, really?
Yeah, right. Yeah. We had that conversation, but I mean, they were kind of used to it because I started off on guitar.
You did?
Yeah, at like 6. Then I moved on to bass, then went back to guitar, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really like, or I like both of these, but I'm not really that good at it. So I'll switch to drums. And then when I was 10, and I finally found my home behind the drum set, I was like, this is where I belong.
Yeah. Very cool. Did all 3 of you, did you all go to school together, or?
No, I'm in a different school than them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you guys went to school together.
Yes.
Or did you? Okay.
Yeah, we just met in a couple years ago. Yeah, we met in high school because we went to separate middle schools, but we met in high school, and then Izzy obviously went to Goffstown High School, so that's how we met at the Battle of the Bands, because obviously we would have never met otherwise. Chances are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are there any other bands that you kind of team up with? It sort of happens organically in my experience. And, I was in a band that played with your dad's band a lot. We did a lot of shows together.
Yeah.
Sometimes bands just kind of, you end up teaming up. It just sort of happens. Is there anybody else in the scene that you play a lot of shows with, or?
Not yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're trying to make our way out there, and we're trying to, try to also hopefully revitalize the scene a little bit, because unfortunately a lot of it has died. So we're trying to, find like-minded people and be like, hey, come on, music's still alive. Let's go play shows and all that.
Yeah.
So not yet, but we hope to find other bands out there who are like us, who are willing to play shows with us. We like friends. So
yeah. Do you feel like there's a dearth of bands that are doing kind of what you're doing right now locally, or?
Not that I've really met or anything. I don't see too many younger people playing rock or heavy music at all.
Yeah.
Generation,
a lot of the younger talent in music that I see now, it's rap, that type of stuff, which, hey, I'm not hating.
Yeah.
But doesn't help us out.
Right.
I wish there was more younger bands, rock music and stuff, but that's just kind of how it is, today.
No, it's interesting that you say that, because, I was talking earlier about how I feel that this kind of music is timeless, but it does occur to me, again, if you were to just play this for me and say, when do you think this was done? I wouldn't know, but I probably would assume that the members of the band were older than the three of you are, because you're right. You don't see a lot of people necessarily your age doing this kind of music, or at least doing it, you know, with this level of sophistication.
Yeah.
Because like I said, some of this is, you know, complex, and yeah, that's interesting. I mean, but again, you know, you've been together less than a year too. So I assume as you go along, you'll meet other bands that you can kind of, like I said, you know, and it just happens. It just happens organically, you know. But we should play another track from the album. What do you want to play next?
You guys go with what you guys good with? Yeah, Within My Eyes. I can't talk.
Within My Eyes.
Just let the guitar player talk. It's fine. I'm just the drummer. I don't know how to speak English.
Right.
Come on.
All right, we'll give this one a spin. And anything we should know about this before we play it?
I think one of the main parts of it that sticks out, all three of us sing on it.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Oh, okay.
I do verses, he does the chorus, and in the background you'll hear like a ooh or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I'm no vocalist, but that's Izzy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right, let's give this a listen. If you're just joining us, the band is Under the Horizon. They're here with us live in studio, and this is called Within My Eyes.
Looking at my face when I see the light, whisper in my ear, there are barrel lies. I can feel the tears falling down at night. I can't breathe when I'm alone, but I cannot talk when you're around. I can't see on my own, but you put my face in the ground. Why can't I just be at home? You spread your lies all around. I just wanna be alone, but you put my name in the crowd. Within my eyes, within my eyes, within my eyes. Tell me that it's fake, I can see the truth. Wrap it on my back, cage it follows you. People let you up, they follow me too. I can't breathe when I'm alone, but I cannot talk when you're around. I can't see on my own, but you put my face in the ground. Why can't I just be at home? You spread your lies all around. I just wanna be alone, but you put my name in the crowd. Within
It's got a big dramatic ending. I really like that a lot. That is called Within My Eyes. The band is Under the Horizon, and we've got all three members of the band here with us live in studio on Matt Connarton Unleashed on this Saturday morning. Yeah, we were talking off air while it was playing. That song's got a touch of grunge, which kind of sets it apart from a lot of these other songs. And Jordan, you were saying when you online on what was it on
Apple Music?
On Apple Music, it
similar artists. It comes up with like Deftones, Alice in Chains, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Very grungy, or have that darker feel. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Of course, the drums kind of ungrunge it a little bit because you don't hear double bass usually in grunge.
No.
There's a band, I cannot remember who they are now. Jenny, you probably don't remember either. It was a couple of years ago we had a band on who very grunge except for the drums. It was a 3-piece band, female singer. I can't.
It's not ringing a bell for me.
But there's a band from the area who, they're like very grunge, like not just a hint of it, except the double bass drum, which is cool because it's a different sound. But I cannot. I can picture them too, but I cannot remember the name. It'll come to me later on in the day when it no longer matters. But anyway, but I really like that track. Now, where do you record? What's the recording process like?
My house. We started recording the drum tracks. We recorded that down in the band room. We recorded in April, and it's in pretty much my basement is the band room. But so it was so cold. These poor guys were freezing their fingers off, and we recorded the drum tracks in pretty much like a day and a half maybe, and then we moved upstairs into my attic for the guitar tracks, and then we recorded vocals in my bedroom. So pretty much half of the house was a recording studio for like a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, just recording it anywhere we could.
I say it would be more than a week.
I don't know. How long did we record for? I don't know.
Probably a couple weeks at least.
Couple,
right?
maybe.
That's not
3 weeks. He's saying 3 weeks. So
3 weeks, yeah. Oh, very cool. No, that's a good way to do it. It's we live in an era too where you've got so many different options in terms of how you record. So, do you? I think you had said earlier too. You're already working on new material. Is that correct? Do you have plans to record it soon, or are you kind of focused on the current album right now?
I would say the current album right now.
Yeah.
And with the gigs that we have coming up, I feel that's what we're focusing on more than original new music.
Right. Yeah.
Although speaking on gigs that are coming up, we're playing 2 of the new songs at the show tonight, like songs that are going on the next album. No one's heard it, but we had extra times where we're like, we'll give the audience a little sneak peek at what's to come. So yeah, if any of you guys that are listening right now are coming to that, you'll get to hear 2 new songs that you can hear right now.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Excellent. Are you gonna, the current run of shows, obviously you're keeping very busy. Are you going to try to keep up that pace? Or, a lot of bands kind of slow down in the winter, or that's when they kind of shift to recording or writing or.
I mean, we'll just have to see how things go,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the energy that we have right now follows through even after the shows.
Yeah.
But like she said, only time will tell.
Yeah. Well, you're off to a great start. That's for sure.
Thank you.
We should. So before we run out of time, and I do want to make sure we get one more song in too. But let's remind everybody, for people listening live on Saturday, because you've got a show tonight, and then I also want to remind people too about the show tomorrow night.
Yes. So tonight,
you're
making me grab my notes again. Come on. We're playing at Rochester Performing Arts Center. All ages, $10 cover. The doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. It's us with Tainted Hearts and Day to Attend. And then Sunday, tomorrow, we open up for Great White at Tupelo Music Hall. Doors open at 5:30. And if you want to catch more of us, or maybe you want to catch a different band, we're opening up for Queensryche on the 30th, also at Tupelo Music Hall, and the doors open for 6:30 at that.
Outstanding. And where should people go online to keep up with everything that y'all are doing? Where's the best place?
I mean, we're on a lot of different social media, so Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
If you just look up Under the Horizon,
Yeah,
it should,
basically.
should come up. Yeah.
Yeah, and our website too, underthehorizon.org. That's a good place to come see hear the music, news, get some photos if you want to, join the mailing list, and we also have merch on sale over there. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. In a moment, we'll play one more track. But Jenny, do you want to? So we should mention. Well, we'll have you go ahead and plug your website, and then we got to mention a couple things coming up.
You want to tell me the couple of things or no? I'm only kidding. You can find out more about me at jenncoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com.
Yes.
And you can find 12 of my darkest paintings for viewing at the Nashua Creatives Collective, Midnight Creatives Collective. Now you got me doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And at Terminus.
Yes.
Where Green Jello will be playing next Tuesday night.
Yes.
A free show, 21 plus.
And you had a hand in booking that.
I did. I get
Yes.
to add that to my little resume.
Yes. Green Jello / Green Jelly. Don't know what to call them. I guess the flyer they have says Green Jello. So
Yeah.
So I guess I think at this point, I think Bill, when they were here, said that legally they're not in any peril at this point because it's been like 30 years
That's
since
true.
they were threatened with litigation. But,
By Jello.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all are familiar with
Yes, Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had them. They played in Manchester, and then we had them on the show the next day because they played on a Friday night, and then they were kind enough to come in. And I asked Bill Manspeaker about it because it's like they were Green Jello, but then they became Green Jelly because they were threatened with litigation because Green Jello obviously is trademarked. But he said something about now I think they actually prefer to be called Green Jello because it's been like 30 years and they're not going to get sued now, in theory. But yeah, so it's like if you look them up, sometimes they're Green Jelly, sometimes they're Green Jello. But yeah, they're going to be at Terminus in Nashua on Tuesday night. Free show, 21 plus, BYOB. Jenny and I will be there, and bring your pool noodle if you're going to the show. But we encourage people, and if you go, you can check out Jenny's artwork, which is on the walls there. But Under the Horizon, thank you again, all three of you.
Thank you for having us on. Thank you.
This has been wonderful. And what track should we play to end the show today?
Maybe Under the Horizon.
Under the Horizon. Ah, yes, the your title track, if you will. Anything we should know about this song?
It has a really sad, dark story to it, but I wrote it on someone that I had lost a couple of years back to suicide. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I always say, and it's something we talk about on the show a lot, is if you can take something negative but create something from it, that's really kind of the best way to deal with things. That's like it's such a great form of therapy to to be able to take a traumatic event but then do something creative with it. So we will end with this, but thank you to everyone who joined us today on the program. If you miss any part of the show, it'll be up at just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnarton.com. And we leave you with this. The song is Under the Horizon, and the band is Under the Horizon. And we'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Sun comes through my window, last night thinking about you.
and I'm writing a couple of new stories now. I got some inspiration to write a couple of stories, so that's what
that's
I
good.
keep my time doing that.
Stay busy, right?
Writing my poetry. I write a lot of poetry, and hopefully one of these days I'll get published, and you might invite me in to talk about my poetry.
Gary, you can come in anytime. We'd love to have you.
Maybe sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's, when you got a lot of people and stuff like that, and, I just don't want to be that guy,
You mean you don't want to be like a Ron?
Well, I don't want to mention names or anything like that.
I don't
but
either. I won't either.
I don't want to be a haunt. I like Ron.
Of course.
I just don't want to be a haunt, and say, well, I'm here every day and I'm doing this. And, like there was some other people too. God bless him. Like Easy G. God bless him. He was a good guy and stuff. But
No, Easy's the best.
yeah, I met him a couple of times at Market Basket.
Yeah.
And just like I'm not that kind of. The last time I was over, Maddie, I was at Matt Connarton Unleashed. She let me in a few years back, and at the old place, and I got to hang out at the radio station. I thought that was cool.
Oh, nice. Very good.
So yeah, I stayed with him for about we were like 45 minutes. Him and there were Jenny, my love. He used to call her Jenny, my love. I haven't spoken to them for a long time, just because I've had different times and all that. But it was awesome because I used to go to WFEA with a friend of mine and DJ at night. So
nice. Love
so
that.
I used to like DJing and stuff like
You
that.
like the
at
atmosphere
radio
around
station.
the radio station, yes.
And we used to hang out. We did ZID when ZID was was just all computerized and reel to reel. So you had to go down and reset the reels, and you had to go down and reset the cassettes for the commercials. So
that's awesome.
All right.
I've always been in DJing and stuff like that. I love doing that. I love music. Music was my life all the time. Playing with the drum corps, teaching, and that's what I love. I love to see kids get into music and stuff like that, and all sorts of music.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a big, I'm not a big rap person. I like some little hip hop here and there. I like Little John and, Usher and people like that to listen to songs like that. But then, because I had to play it and everything and get the kids, get the people on the dance floor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You can't just keep playing stuff. But I'm like Emerson, Lake and Palmer guy. I used to like all the synthesizer stuff. I hung out with, we went to the down in on Elm Street when Daddy's Junkie was down on Elm Street. I used to hang out with Steven Tyler one time down in the basement.
Oh, nice.
When he was before he found Jesus and rehabbed, he came in really lit, and they were downstairs. Him and Joe Perry, and they were playing guitar and they were singing. He wouldn't even recognize anybody after, say, "Hey, I saw you," but but those are good times. Those are my memories of music and seeing people. So
the soundtrack of life, Gary, music.
That's it.
Yeah, and you get old, and then you got good memories.
That's right.
That's what I like. Good memories of music and stuff like that.
Well,
that's why when you guys start talking music, I said, "Oh man, just to sit there and tell them a few things I've seen and who I know, and not to brag. Yeah, I'm not that type of person to brag about people like that. But I knew Maynard Ferguson. He was a trumpet player, and his bass guitar player. I met him, and when I was at the Hawthorne Caballeros in New Jersey, and I met all these real awesome music people that I could talk music to, and it was great, and I felt good, and I have people go, "Oh yeah, I do this, I play," and I said, "Well, can you read this? Can you structure a song or anything?" And they're like, "No, I just play this stuff." Oh, okay. And then they hate all sorts of music, but I love music.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happy, you cry, you get some good stuff, and then there's some really stuff that you roll the windows down, and you're like my Fire Chicken. I put my windows down, and I'm cranking, tunes out, and just for the heck of it,
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding.
I know I'm Gary the Long goodbye, so I'm going to let you go, and you guys have an awesome time. Maddie, have a good time. Ride your bikes, and be safe.
Always.
And when Kyle comes in, tell Kyle I still love him. He's a good kid, and I believe in him. So.
Yeah, that's right. We all believe in him.
Yep.
But you guys, and have a safe day. Have a lovely weekend. It's going to be great. But have a, like I said, just ask her about the tall and big man store. That would be kind of nice.
All right, I'll see if we can get one. Yeah, all right.
But yeah, I'm serious about that.
All right, let me put
It's
that
a lot
on my
better
list.
to go down there and get some clothes. So,
Let me.
I need some new Hawaiian shirts.
I'm going to put it
I
on
need
my
some new
list.
Hawaiian shirts. So.
I'm going to put it on my list of things to ask.
All right, you guys.
Jody.
I love you guys, and
All right.
if Jen's listening, shout out to Jen. Safe trip. Love you, Jen. Bye bye.
All right, Gary. Thank you so much, Gary. Of course, always fun to hear Gary.
Oh, he's great.
It really is. Checking in. He checks in every now and then.
Yeah, I like it.
But all right, he's good for a good 15-minute call.
Yeah.
But he knows it. He knows it. All right. The morning continues. We are still waiting on Kyle. His ETA is 10 minutes. All right. All right. Yeah, he fell asleep.
Coming from Concord?
He fell asleep. Said he
Oh.
fell asleep. He texted me at 10 minutes of 7 saying, I'm leaving in a few minutes.
And then
But
he
he
fell
must have. See, he should just come here at,
Right.
like 6:30. But anyway, so Kyle will,
Yeah, but he
will
likes
be here
to,
shortly.
have a little bit of time to himself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. But he's leaving soon. He says about 10 minutes. So.
Sweet.
All right, so it takes 8 minutes to get here, so he must be on his way out the door. All right, phone lines are open again, 250-6007. Is anyone else going on? This is a week that a lot of people will go on vacation
Yeah.
because it's, you have the
last
week.
hurrah.
Yeah, the last hurrah of August before you get back to school, get back to work, and we all start fresh in September. So, I don't know. Do you know anyone going? Because a lot of people go on vacation this time of year, I guess.
I don't.
I don't know.
I know my brother's wife,
On vacation?
the youngest, just went to Hershey Park.
Now that's a fun place. I
Yeah.
haven't been in years, but I would love to. I would love to go back. It's a nice area too. It's right. It's like the Lancaster County.
Yeah.
That whole Amish, delicious food.
Great places to stay.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, I was really really young. I was like I said, I was like 13. So.
I don't think I've ever been to Hershey Park.
Oh, even the thing you sit in, and there's like a little thing. It's not really a ride, but it's not in the park itself. But you can go to the factory, and they have the thing you can sit in, and it takes you all around, and it shows you these big giant Reese's peanut butter cups, and it shows them like being made. It's amazing. It really is. And if you ever, on the History Channel, they do the food that built America. What was his name? Is it William Hershey, or what was his name? What was Hershey's name?
Let's find out.
It's somebody. This guy, I mean, amazing what he did. He's like the
Milton.
Milton Hershey. That's right. And I mean, this guy's the Walt Disney of chocolate. Basically, basically the same kind of ideas and dreams. And got it done. All right, let's say good morning to our friend Don Tibbetts down there in LaBelle, Florida.
Love that guy.
How far is that away from Orlando? Because he was in Orlando. Now, I was in Orlando a few years back. I'm gonna say we're going back 7 years, and T was in Orlando when I was down there, and he came over to our place, and we hung out by the pool.
Really? 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Oh, that's a long. Okay, so he's south of that, right? Is he south or north of?
South.
All right.
Yeah, he's down by like Fort Myers.
Okay.
Naples.
But not on the coast, right?
No, he's like in the middle. Well, I mean, yeah.
All right.
West Palm.
All right. Will says some of us poor people that work 40 plus can't afford to go on vacation. Maybe if I worked 4 hours a day, I could. Who's working 4 hours a day?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, speaking of Will, he was at the big. Did you listen to his
Yeah.
song last night?
Amazing.
Yeah, really good. Really